everyone, Ivy Lee Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, it's time for a should you summon or when should you summon discussion.
The finest blood for the most untainted soul.
So summoning, I think a lot of us are in the boat of I just used everything I possibly could over last weekend and I need a break from summoning. Let's be honest. So I'm just going to be straight up here. I think a lot of people are going to take this weekend off. But of course, they gave us some good stuff along the way to consider, so we have to talk about it. So we have a 1+1 extra legendary event starting on Saturday, going for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, just to be clear. And then we have a 10 times event for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with Valeria and Brokir, which is really good as well. So if you have summons, I'm going to say this is a great weekend to summon, honestly, because they're great heroes. So if you don't have Valeria or Brokir, it's a good time to get them. Or if you're looking for awakenings, especially for Valeria, it's a good time to get them. But I doubt many people have a ton of summons. But those of you looking to max her out, it might be a good time if you're a spender. Alright, but 1+1 I still much prefer to this 10 times even. I'm just going to be honest. And there's actually, alright, so there's a couple reasons to summon this weekend, even if you don't have a lot. Or if you wanted to save up until the next big thing, there's actually some big things coming that I kind of want to talk about. The first not so big thing, but might impact your decision, is the Spiritual Altar event. If you guys skipped out on some of the events, make sure you get that Silas skin. This might be some points you need to get it, but usually you don't need to worry about that. There's plenty of other events going on right now to allow you to get the Silas skin, but we're going to be nearing the end of that event. So if you haven't got it yet, you better make sure you got the resources to do so, or you might miss out. So you might need to summon if you want to get the Silas skin this weekend, and it's, again, not a bad time to do so. At least there is a spiritual altar, right? Which is great. There's some other things to consider regarding pulling duplicates that we need to talk about. So I am an advocate of never crunching a legendary, right? I don't want to be a hypocrite either. But oh gosh, no, I already maxed too many people out. Okay, so I need dupes. I don't have a chance. There's something we need to talk about regarding our dupe legendaries. So if you're that person that has saved legendaries in case a special hero comes in the awakening shop and you want to get a soulstone for, and you need to sell your legendaries to do so, well, your patience has paid off. Personally, I am going to try not to be a hypocrite, though, for all of this that I'm going to say for the next bit of advice. And I'm not going to crunch anyone unless I get beyond Awaken 5. There's a reason I'm talking about this. Bear with me. So, alright. I might want to pull this weekend and hope I get an Azor. And hope I get Zealous. But it's not going to be enough for me. So this weekend, it's still not the thing. But let's pretend I had more awakening tokens. Let's just pretend I was only I had 300 and I was only 100 away, one dupe away from being able to pick a legendary soulstone of my choice for 400. This would be a week that you want to get a duplicate that you're okay with crunching. Because next weekend, next week, the plan is a very good one. So what I'm talking about is there were some leaks, which I'm just going to mention, and I'm going to link the video in my description. I'm not going to pull it up. I'm not going to show it all, but it's been publicly discussed in my YouTube comments, in Discords, and the video is obviously public on YouTube at this point. So I don't feel too guilty talking about leaks like this now that it's been a while. But one of our content creators had been given some information about a time traveler data miner, I guess you could call them, that knows the entire schedule of all the soul stones coming up, and they've all been correct. So unless the game decides to change it, we know it's coming. And next week is Arrogance, guys. Next week is Arrogance. 4 days from this video, 17 hours as of this recording, is Arrogance. So for those of us that are like, for me it's terrible because I'm in this position, or it's great, but it's terrible because I'm in the position of I have an Awaken 2 Arrogance. I really want that Awaken 3. So much so I was tempted to use a damn soul stone on him, the universal one. But he's gonna be here in 4 days, but I don't have enough resources to get him in 4 days. And I'm not just gonna crunch anything and everything. I'm really not gonna be that person because what? We crunch a Shamir and then they change him? I mean, not that Shamir's bad. Again, Shamir has some very good end game viability. He's not good for early mid game general purpose, but he has a very great niche use for end game. So I want my Shamir. I'm not going to crunch anyone because of faction trials. I don't want to get stuck and realize that one person was my answer. But if I get dupes, but typically I want to take people to Awaken 5 before I crunch. But a Soulstone for Arrogance next week is definitely tempting. I don't know. I should tap Borat. Oh, I already did the tap Borat 100 times thing, didn't I? Yes, I did. Anyway, so besides that, it also should be noted that the Soulstone rotation has, it's been different. Last week was Eileen, which is cool because she's newer. It's good to see them mixing it in. We know they've changed it. But in a few months, I don't remember exactly what it was. I just kind of was looking through. Arrogance does come back. I just want to say that. So if you're like me and you don't have enough Awakening tokens to get an Awakening for your Arrogance this coming week in 4 days, don't worry, he will be back. But it will be, I think, 2 or 3 months at least. I don't know. I didn't spreadsheet it all and time it all out. I'm going to have to do that later. But I'll give you guys the video so you can look into it yourself, like I said. Also, I want to note that in that video, again, I don't remember where exactly. I'm going to have to go make a spreadsheet myself. But Valeria Soulstone will also be in the shop at some point. So I just want to stress that they are adding new heroes to the shop. Brokir has already been in the shop as well. So if you're someone that's looking for good legendaries to purchase from the Awakening shop, there are options. There really are. And that could affect your decision on how much you summon. So if you have Valeria and you really want to get her all her Awakenings, but you only make it to 4 and you don't make it to 5 and you're debating if you should like go crazy, I would say hold off because there is one coming in the shop. How soon? I don't remember. We'll have to go watch that video again. But I did browse through it last night. I'm just trying to point it out, but I will give the credit where credit is due, and I will post that video in the link of the description and the pinned comments so you guys can take a look and see what I mean. So why am I talking about all this? I'm talking about Arrogant Soulstones in the Awakening shop because summoning during a 1+1 is actually a pretty good chance that you're going to get some duplicates that could be crunched for those stones that could be used for future purchases from the Awakening shop. So I personally kind of want pull, and I might, but I have 25 summons. No, what am I thinking? I have 25 summons. I should have more before then, hopefully, because I need to do my Void Rift still. Go away. I need to do a lot of other content still and finish off some events, so we should get more. But I don't know that it's going to be worth pulling because I'm pretty fresh off of Pity. So keep in mind that if you pull and you get some dupes of heroes you don't want, or you get those dupes of those heroes you've already Awakened 5'd, You're like, oh my god, I'm never going to use these soul stones. Well, there's actually a really good reason to pull and a really good reason to want duplicates now, because they are changing up the shop and they are adding in new heroes. So that was my big heads up for should you summon. The answer is yes if you can, especially if you are close, or yeah, if you're close to getting that awakening 400 awakening tokens in the legendary part of the shop and you need an arrogance, you should summon hoping you get someone that you want to crunch, or if you don't get an actual arrogance yourself, you know? That's just a really weird reason to summon, but it's true. Wanting duplicates. It's so funny because I play Dragonair as well, and in that game, you want duplicates because you want to be able to buy legendary artifacts with the materials you get from duplicates. So it's kind of similar in the sense of having a good dupe system. Or yeah, you can use them for inspirations, aka awakenings, just like this game. But I'm really happy to know that the shop has improvements. It makes the reason to summon more exciting. Now, the final topic of should you summon, I'm just going to say for the early mid-game players, not even the mid-game, just if you have a new account, you should summon every weekend no matter what's going on. There was the exception of like last week was something really special, so we really did encourage people to save with the whole Lust event and everything. But in general, I love 10 times events, especially when they have good epics, which is Amani's pretty solid, and she can hit almost as hard as Nocturne in some content when she's fully awakened, and Brienne is really good and often used in endgame Gear Raid 3 content as well, and Arena, actually. So this is a pretty good... I mean, I know some people like Jonkar, but I don't really know much about him myself. But it's a pretty good banner. But personally, I'm more of a fan of the 1+1 because if you're going to hit your pity or whatever, you know, you get your legendary, you want 2 for the price of 1, right? You might as well get 2 for the price of 1. So this is still my favorite event. I still think it's really great. And if you're a newer player, you just need to get stuff on your account. So don't worry about waiting for the perfect times. Plus, keep in mind, I know there's been a lot of talk about some of the really cool chaotic heroes or like Valderon and stuff, but these summons are only spirits are the blue ones and diamonds, divine are the yellow ones, the legendary. So these are different than ancient summoning event, and so is this. This is the spirits, aka the blue and the diamonds, the rares. So it doesn't affect your decision regarding saving for future heroes like Valderon. So that's or being able to pull a Praetus or an Ardea. Those are ancient summons, the red ones that are completely separate. But all right, guys, I hope this was a helpful conversation. I think it's a good time to summon. If you want to get duplicates, try to pull on the 1+1, get 2 heroes, and you actually want to get someone you don't feel guilty crunching. This is the time to do it, because I mean, I wish I could have a lot more summons and pull and hopefully get more, but it's just not going to happen. But I really want that Awaken 3 for Arrogance. But I don't think this week is in the cards for me. I think I'm going to have to wait a few months for when that comes around, or hope I get lucky during a normal summon session and just pull him. But anyway, either way, there's a lot more great heroes coming in the Awakening shops, so at least we know they are doing a little bit of improvement there. I still wish there was more stuff to do with our epic coins, but at least they're rotating out some new heroes for the legendary. But all right, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow's my birthday, February 22nd. I will be live on Twitch playing other games, though, and on YouTube as well for the other channel. Birthday stream hype. We'll have some fun, and I'll see you in the next video or live then.